In the lush forests and rolling hills of Nova Scotia, Canada, 1795, two young souls lived separate lives, unaware that their paths would soon entwine. Emily Fanshawe, a beautiful and kind-hearted 22-year-old, resided in the small village of Annapolis Royal with her family. She spent her days learning the art of healing from her mother, a skilled apothecary, and exploring the surrounding woods. Across the bay in the village of Port Royal lived James McLeod, a ruggedly handsome 25-year-old who worked as a shipwright on his family's dockyard. He was a skilled sailor and navigator, known for his bravery and quick thinking. James had recently returned from a long voyage to England, where he had served in the British Navy. One crisp autumn morning, Emily set out to gather medicinal herbs in the nearby woods. As she wandered deeper into the forest, the rustling of leaves beneath her feet caused her to stumble upon a hidden glade. In the center of this secluded spot stood an ancient pine tree, its branches whispering softly in the breeze. Suddenly, James appeared from behind the tree, his eyes fixed intently on Emily. "Forgive me, miss," he said, tipping his hat. "I didn't mean to startle you." Emily's cheeks flushed as she regained her balance. "It's quite all right, sir. I was just admiring this pine." She gestured toward the towering tree. As they stood together, the whispers of the pines seemed to grow louder, as if urging them closer. James, sensing an opportunity, asked Emily about the medicinal properties of the plants surrounding her. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, and before long, they discovered a shared passion for botany and the natural world. Over the next few weeks, Emily and James found themselves crossing paths more frequently. They would stroll along the shore, discussing everything from the latest news from England to their own dreams and aspirations. As their connection deepened, they began to share stories of their pasts. Emily confided in James about her struggles with her mother's expectations, while James revealed his own fears of not living up to his family's legacy. One evening, as they sat on the beach watching the sunset, James took Emily's hand, and she didn't pull away. It was a small gesture, but one that spoke volumes about their growing feelings for each other. As the days turned into weeks, whispers of gossip began to circulate in both villages. People started to speculate about the nature of Emily and James's relationship. Some saw them as an unlikely pair, a member of the esteemed Fanshawe family and a shipwright from a humble background. Others worried that their romance would lead to trouble, given the complexities of their social stations. Emily's mother, Mrs. Fanshawe, was particularly concerned about the potential consequences of her daughter's relationship with James. She urged Emily to focus on finding a suitable husband from a more refined family, rather than risking her reputation by associating with someone from a lower social class. James, too, faced opposition from his own family and friends. They saw him as foolish for pursuing a romance with the beautiful Emily when he could have easily married into a wealthier and more influential family. One stormy night, as the winds howled outside, James arrived at the Fanshawe residence, seeking Emily's help. Her mother had fallen ill, and James knew that Emily's knowledge of herbs would be invaluable in treating her condition. As they worked together to create a remedy for Mrs. Fanshawe, their emotions reached a boiling point. In the midst of the chaos, James took Emily's hand once more, this time with a sense of urgency. "Emily, I know our families may not approve, but I couldn't care less about what others think. You're the one person who truly understands me. Will you be mine?" Tears streaming down her face, Emily nodded, and James swept her into his arms. As the storm subsided, the Fanshawe family gathered around their loved ones, grateful for Emily's quick thinking and James's bravery. Mrs. Fanshawe, seeing how much happiness her daughter had found with James, finally accepted their relationship. The villagers, too, came to accept the young couple, recognizing that love knows no social boundaries. As the seasons passed, Emily and James built a life together, one that was filled with love, laughter, and adventure on the high seas. Years later, as they sat on the beach watching their children play in the waves, Emily turned to James and smiled. "You know, I always knew we'd find our way to each other." James wrapped his arms around her, pulling her close. Aye, lass. The whispers of the pines were just a gentle nudge, guiding us toward each other all along. The end.